Legendary late nights. Already. It's every time.
We spiritual beings, grinding, living our dreams. I've been a king, thank God for a queen. She hold the fort down, I'm stacking the cream.
Thank God for the queen.
Life gon' hit your chest, put you through some tests. You a rook in the game, I'm a vet. Studio cooking up hits like a chef.
Guys, welcome back to With Audacity. You guys just heard some music from Legendary the Poet. And today we are talking about voting with Audacity.
Yes.
Yes.
Go, Kara.
I was about to say,
Go,
Kara, where are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
All right, she's
She's
quiet
saving her
right
energy,
now.
yo.
Let me try that again. Today we are talking about voting with Audacity.
I gotta do like a 90s.
Okay, now she's doing a 90 dance. Okay. But
That's right.
seriously,
Let's get
y'all,
excited about voting.
For real, welcome back to With Audacity, this podcast where we are always trying to educate, promote, and uplift the community, doing all things unapologetically and with audacity. Episode 2, voting with audacity. Dr. Kara, Dr. Jazz,
And Jazz the Baddie.
and Jazz the Baddie.
And the Baddie is in the building.
Baddie is in the building.
Oh, man.
Oh my God! So today, like I said, I gave Kara. I came in strong, and
we should
she
have
let
bottles
me
or
down.
something.
Yeah,
Like, Jazz the Baddie.
save them for my birthday
Alright.
next year.
Okay.
I came in strong, with the voting.
Yeah.
Right off rip. And if you're watching us, we all have on our My Vote Matters shirts. Hello.
Done by Terica, my cousin. Hey, girl.
Hey.
Thanks, cousin.
She's done some beautiful shirts for us. The With Audacity shirt, the Audacity typewriter front shirt, the 3 My Vote Matter shirts.
Merch is
Terica
coming out August
has been
8th.
awesome with our shirt. So shout out to her.
October 8th. Oh, October 8th. You right, girl.
Yeah, shout out to her. So yeah, I came in strong. Today we are talking about a strong topic.
Very important.
Very important. So I'm gonna check in, see how we're feeling, and we're gonna dive right in. So, Dr. Jazz, how are you feeling? What's been going on with you? How you feeling first and foremost? You feeling good?
I'm feeling amazing.
All right.
Thank you.
Feeling amazing.
Always.
All right. We're talking about something super important today. I can't stress that enough. And I'm just going to throw that out there. The purpose of this episode is not to sway anybody one way or another, not to tell you who to vote for. I do have to stress that.
That's right.
The purpose of this episode is just to talk about the importance of voting, not
Correct.
to tell you who to vote for.
Correct.
I myself am not going to sit up here and talk about my political views. I just think that voting is one of the most important things that you can do. So I just wanted to put that out there.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Dr. Jazz, checking in with you, do you think or would you rather go back in time to meet one of your ancestors, or would you rather go forward in time to meet your descendants? What do you think? We're going to start it off like that. We starting off strong today, baby.
Okay. Wow. I'll take that in for a second. I think I'm a little old school. I'll bring it back. I would definitely like to go back and meet my ancestor, one specific person that I feel like I identify with, as we share the same birthday on January 15th. That's Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. I would love to go back and meet with him and just sit down at the table and see where he was when he was taken from us.
Yeah.
Where he was in his work. I know that he had just came together realizing about it being more of an economic struggle as well as a racial struggle.
I am a man.
I am a man, and fought for the poor sanitation workers and their rights.
Right.
So I would love to just get a chance to talk with them and see where we can go today and how I can pick up that torch and keep us moving as a community.
All right. Kara.
Dr. Woods.
Dr. Woods. This episode is for Kara, and I say that y'all are going to hear her at some point. She's going to chime in and get on the soapbox. But one of Kara's passions, and she's so smart and so educated, I'm going to brag on both of these ladies a lot. has always been, probably since she was a kid in the sandbox, probably poking me like, you need to vote when you get older. She's always like texting people and like calling people, like, you know, sending out messages, smoke signals, you know, firing off her flare gun, like, you know, just always stressing the importance of voting. So she's quiet right now. She's not going to toot her own horn and tell you, but she's always just one of those people who's making sure that the community is aware. So we like, this is Kara's episode because it really, really is.
It is.
So she
no, like it is. It really is.
Yeah.
It really is. It's something I'm very passionate about.
So Kara, Dr. Woods, would you rather go back in time to meet your ancestors, or would you rather go forward in time and meet your descendants?
Okay, so Dr. Jazz brought this question to the group, and I was just like, dang.
This is a check-in question. Like, Dr. Jazz always goes so deep. And she's just like, I'm going to simmer y'all down, and we're going to go deep. And it's just like, wait, hold on. Seriously. And this is a question I think everybody should think about. Like, I want these. This is a continue the conversation question.
Yeah, so ask your mama and them.
For real. Seriously, this is something to take with you.
Yeah.
We always relatable, so take it with you.
Anyway. So to answer this question, it's like, I really don't know, like, type of thing. I off rip said I wanted to meet my descendants. And the reason why is because although I do want to meet my ancestors, especially like my immediate ancestors, like grandmother, great grandmother, like, you know, grandfather, things like that. I feel like I have been raised to know the power of our ancestors, and so even though I wasn't able to have a close-knit conversation with most of them, I do feel like I lived through them. And so, like, a lot of the things that I do, a lot of the things that I don't do is for them. And I think that I would want to see my descendants and see if, like, all the hard work that I'm doing now is going to, like, reach them. And, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just being like that, like I said, that bridge to something not better, but just, like, more opportunity. And so, like I said, I'm forever grateful, you know, coming from farmers and coming from people who did not have an education and, you know, people who was working on them factory jobs and stuff like that. And those who would be like first in their, you know, in their area to do things. I really feel like I said, I live with them on my shoulder all the time. And so then if I could, like, go to my descendants and see, like, if all the hard work that I'm trying to put in for them really, like, goes through, like, go. And then, like, also because we say that this generation is missing key steps. And if I could, like, go in to my descendants and say, these are some key steps that still need to be brought. Like, you know what I'm saying? If I could be a griot, you know what I'm saying? Give you some African history here. Be an oral, you know, dictate things. Like, I think that would, like, just fill my soul up. Like, either one is great, though. Like, you know what I'm saying? But, like, yeah, I think that if I could go to see my descendants, that would be powerful. Even though I don't even know if I'm going to have descendants. Like, I don't even know if I'm going to have kids, y'all. Like, so, wah-wah.
My God.
But, yeah, I think that would be powerful. And, you know, anyway, Jazz.
Yeah.
What about you?
I don't know, like, when Dr. Jazz, like, was just like, okay, I think this is what I want y'all to think about. And it's just like, okay. Seriously. Like, she was like, okay, here's something to think about, y'all. I'm like, man, you come with the deep stuff.
We thinking.
Yeah. Deep. You know, the doubles, like the kids say.
Yeah.
But
just so y'all know, we really not that old.
We not. We still kids too.
Baby, yes.
for real, I'm forever young. But I am. But no, seriously, I think I thought about that, and I honestly would like to. I don't think I want to. I mean, okay, I'm not gonna say I don't want to go meet my descendants because I do, but I really think I would rather go back and see my ancestors. I was only able to really live out a portion of my life, or the longest portion of my life, with one grandparent, and I saw how much she was able to accomplish with her life with not much education. Y'all, she didn't let not having a lot of education, slow her down or stop her from pushing her children to be the best at life. Or to strive for more than she had.
Right.
And I remember when I was younger, she always just said, I like when I was be at her house and doing my homework over there, she was like, I can't help you get your lesson, but like you need to make sure you do your homework. And when your mama get here, like ask her. and I mean that was what she said, and she pushed education for all of her children. But I didn't see the portion of her life before she was much older. I didn't get to see her struggling in her circumstance. I didn't get to see the part of her that was younger, fighting through. I didn't get to see her mother. I didn't get to see like the things that she was going through, and they didn't use that as an excuse to not want more. And I'm not going to say that our generation does that, but we let circumstance sometimes determine a lot. And I don't think our ancestors did, because look how far we have gotten and the opportunities that we have now because of them.
Yeah.
So I would just love to go back and have that conversation.
Sometimes, like, you don't know the questions to ask until you get grown, right?
Yeah.
So, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you with the grandma, you were there 8 years old, but you didn't know the deep questions.
I didn't you just know your grandma and to just let her love on you.
But yeah, exactly. And like now we're grown-ish and
heavy on the ish.
Yes. And we're we have these adult conversations that we want to have.
And it's just so much that I wish I could say to all of them.
Right.
Because none of them were college. Some of them, not even high school.
For sure, yeah. I feel
that just wasn't a thing. But like I said, they weren't people of letting circumstance determine. And I think that sometimes we get lost in, I can't do it because it is. Well, no. Push forward, and want more.
And not only that, but it's like some of the wisest people that are those who did not have a formal education.
Yes.
Like I have a grandfather, he's 88, and I think he said that he stopped going to school when he was in like the 6th grade. He's the wisest person I know. Like if you have any question, he gonna be able to give you
call
an
them
answer.
And get asked.
Right, he's gonna have an answer. Like so yeah, I definitely, like I said, it's a very hard question.
It is. And it's just like, I would love to go back and just be able to have so many questions, especially now that I'm older, and just have those conversations with them so that I can talk to like my kids and grandkids and all of that kind of stuff. Ooh, that's scary to say, but I just want to be Auntie Jazz. But, so Grandma Jazz can sit down and talk one day. So, yeah. Thank you for that deep question.
Not hot girl Jazz.
I know.
Hot grandma Jazz.
Grandma.
Anyway, well, thank y'all for sharing and reaching deep to, think about that and share with our listeners. So, yeah, y'all can continue the conversation. Ask your family members, your elders, and, the young ones, too.
Right.
And
you might learn, you might learn something about your folks that you didn't know anyway. That, like,
just can come up in conversation.
Right. My mom be like, I just want to meet my grandkids. And I'm going to be like, girl.
Bye.
Womp, womp, womp.
Exit left. All right.
Right.
So we'll get into the questions of the episode, y'all. This is where we're talking about voting, right?
Yes.
Voting. So Dr. Woods, I'm gonna start it off with you. Ooh. Can you let me know when you realized the power of your vote?
Well, first off, I like to say that like that question is amazing, because the power of the vote is something that I feel like we just glance over nowadays. Like we have lost so many wonderful men and women that fought so many years, and it's like we're continuously fighting for this power of the vote. Like, rest in peace, Reverend C.T. Vivian, rest in peace, John Lewis, rest in peace, Elijah Cummings. And these people literally have scars and, battle wounds for voting, something that I feel like we just take for granted. And, we get mad when we have to stand in line for 20 minutes. And, you know what I'm saying? And these people were in hospital beds.
Right. Trying to vote.
They were getting bombed. Anyway, but yeah, so the power of my vote stems from that, though. Like Jasmine said, I realized the power of my vote at a very young age. And if you listen to episode 1,
Ida B. Wells is part of that. So like when she was talking about lynching, a lot of that was stemming from people who were trying to vote, and they would literally get killed for it. And so when you are young, my mother is one that's like, we're gonna learn all history. I was literally reading about lynchings in the 1st and 2nd grade, and so that is how I realized the power of who I am as a Black person, as a Black woman. That's when I learned like the beauty of who I am. That's when I learned the history of who I am. That learned the power, the limitless of who I am, and voting came with that. And so at a very young age, like I said, I realized who I was. I realized that I was a powerful being, and the most powerful thing I could do with that is 1, help others, and 2, vote.
Simple. It's simple. And so I can't tell you the exact age, but like growing up in Montgomery, Alabama, and we're literally like the start of the civil rights movement, as people like to say, and you see that this is why people were in the streets, or this is why these museums are here, or this is why, this person is important. It's not just because they were talking about nonviolence. That was part of it. But what was the main thing they were trying to do? It was to vote. It was to be equal. And if you have a vote, that means that you're equal. You know what I'm saying? When that ballot gets casted, they don't say a Black person casted this vote. It's just left or right. Yeah.
So, like I said, Elijah Cummings, we lost him recently, and the last thing that his mother said to him on her dying bed was, "Don't let them take our vote." That's something so powerful for your mother to say that to you. Like, that's the last thing she says.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Like, we cannot belittle that. So that was kind of a long answer, but I think that it like I said, voting is such a powerful thing. So yes. That's when I realized it.
What about you, Jazz?
I think I realized the importance of my vote at a young age. I don't think I realized the power of my vote until the second time President Obama was elected, and I say that for 2 different reasons, because I think they're 2 different things. So when I was younger, my mom made sure that she took me to the polling places, or every time that she went.
Right.
Every time she voted, I voted. I used to get a little sticker.
Right,
I was in there doing something.
Pressing the button.
Yeah, pressing the button,
Baby, don't let me vote before I go to school. And I got my I'm wearing my sticker all day.
Right, you got a little sticker. I voted today. We ain't do nothing. We weren't old enough to be voting, but you thought you were doing something.
Right.
So shout out to my mama if you listening. I know she been asking me about this the whole time. My number 1 fan, but no, seriously, like my mom made sure that I knew that this was something that you were supposed to do. That this was something that you did. This was something that was important. So she instilled that in me very young, and I made sure that I knew how that process worked as coming up as a child. But I don't think I understood how powerful it was until I got older, and it was something that I was actually actively able to participate in myself. So when President Obama got elected the second time, I was able to vote. And I remember being in college and just the atmosphere, when that happened, and the state of the country after that happened. And so knowing that I was able to participate in that, knowing that my vote mattered, after that I was like, okay, this is what it is, and I make sure that no matter what is going on, I'm going to vote. And I'm going to tell people, make sure you register, because, don't talk about it unless you're going to actually be a part of the change. That's when I realized how powerful it was. That's my story, y'all. So Dr. Jazz, what about you? When did you realize, oh Lord, she giving us a look. Uh-oh. When did you realize the power of, I don't know if I should ask, the power of your vote?
So, this is a disclaimer, a little shame story. This is my past life. You don't know me now. Don't judge me. All that. I don't know what these young kids say, but
young folks. Listen, just don't judge me for my past
we
actions.
are still young. Period.
And now you real sound. Now you really sounding old because you like, I'm gonna say something. Period.
Period. Poo.
And she added the
See, now y'all real sound like y'all really sound old now. Like I'm hip. Period.
Well, I'm just saying, don't judge me for my past discretions, y'all.
Right.
Growth. This is definitely a moment of growth, a moment of truth.
Okay, speak on it. Hey.
In growing, I did move from New Orleans to Alabama in 2016, which we all know was
The year. Everything changed.
Oh, Lord. So let me see how I'm gonna explain this. Let me start with my mama.
Little did we know that was the beginning of 2020.
Wow.
Like, if you really think about it,
2016.
that is the beginning of coronavirus. Think about that as you vote.
Okay. Keep that in your mind.
Yes.
So, yeah, I'm going to start off with my mom. When I moved to Alabama, and it was around, like, election time was coming, she kept asking me, hey, did you sign up for an absentee ballot? Did you sign up? I was like, I don't even know how to do that. Like, what are you talking about? And she'd ask me, like, once a week or so, and I'm like, oh, let me just go and do it. So it was a couple steps, just logging on and telling them why I needed an absentee ballot and where I was and, how long I planned to be there. Like, it was just a lot of questions, but
yeah.
I ended up getting the ballot mailed to my house. And I put it on my table with the rest of the mail that just kind of collected itself. And my mom asked me a couple more weeks later, did you get that ballot? Did you send it in? And I'm like, let me check. And y'all, it was literally the day after it was supposed to be postmarked in the mail for my vote to count in the 2016 election. Kara I just stabbed the dagger in her heart. Lord have mercy. I stabbed the dagger in mine because y'all, I'm going to tell y'all, I kind of was sad at that day, but it wasn't the election time. The absentee ballots are due before.
Way before,
The election, which another reason why I wasn't pressing because I'm like, oh, they ain't about to vote yet. But of course, it's snail mail, y'all. Stick to your deadlines. But anyway, I was sitting there with my ex, now my current ex, but was my boyfriend at the current time, watching the election, y'all. And I'm just distraught to even say. I don't even. You probably shouldn't even repeat this, So don't say this to anybody else. But
She telling y'all.
I'm telling y'all a secret right now because
we got secrets.
Yo, I'm just shamed. Like, this is just a shameful story because I literally was sitting there and, as the states, it was late that night. So as the states ballots were in, they were reporting if it was red or blue or whatever.
Shout out to Steve Kornacki. I love that man. He be on MSNBC.
Reporting the results. Keeping you on your edge. But I was like upset and he was cheering, and it was just like, it took me literally to the fourth state to realize, like, wait, I don't think we
on opposite
on the
teams.
same team right now. So I felt honestly, truly, extremely bad that I had let my ancestors down. I let my mama down. I let my whole community down by not even, canceling out his vote. And being sure that I did what was right.
At least it was like 1 for 1. Like, even if you couldn't have changed, like, the
It could've been
overall,
one
right there,
your
right.
right to
It
vote.
could have been
So
one.
I knew my power right then and there, and I never let an election go. Just voted recently, mayoral election came through.
Right, because now you're an Alabama resident.
Alabama resident. I'm making a difference where I'm at, baby.
Yes.
So, yes. Dr. Woods made sure I was registered.
That's
y'all.
right.
She did. She did.
Dr. Carey in this thing.
Appreciate you.
That's me on the computer.
Yes. Sending those reminders.
Yeah.
You registered yet?
Yeah. Look, this the link you need.
Right here. Right here. Just making it easy for you. Because I didn't even know. I did not even know. And it honestly was a little bit difficult getting registered because our polling, or whatever the...
where you register.
Where you register is only open once a
the
month.
probate office.
In Macon County, y'all. 98%.
Well, first of all, they don't have a probate office. They just do it at the library once a month.
Once a month. So there's no dedicated facility there, but they let you come in once a month to register.
Right. And in our state, we need a state issue ID. So that's why you have to go in and do it. You can't just register off rip.
Right. And getting that was an issue too. So it's a lot of process.
Yeah.
But it's like you said, this is in the 98% black
African American
county.
And we got one place once a month.
Right. And the history of Tuskegee was like
Tuskegee Civic Association, where it was literally like vote, 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 and now not even 60 years later, they're trying to make it very hard. Voter suppression is real, y'all. Like, that's all I can say.
Get out there and vote, y'all.
All right.
So that was my powerful, when I realized the power.
And I think that a lot of people realized their power in 2016. I think that was the aha moment, as Oprah likes to say, of just being like, okay, this is not a game
At all.
Like,
this really, affects everything. So speaking of like how people feel and, what's going on. I know you started talking about this in the beginning of the episode, Dr. Woods. Do you feel like our generation values voting as much as they should? Just, you can speak on it.
So I try not to bash generations because I know someone's gonna bash mine, and so I guess I try not to like bash generations. And I mean, like, we do have enough, like, we have stuff in here where you have an ample amount of opportunity to bash mine, like, for real. But I try not to, because every generation has had to make that choice. Has had to, like, wars, has had like those Supreme Court cases that literally changed, like, have a reckoning type of thing. So I try not to, like I said, I try not to judge them, because it's a Hitler in every situation, y'all. And it might not just hit America, it could hit Africa, or it could hit Europe. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a bad guy and a good guy in every situation. And unfortunately, most of the time, we don't realize who the bad guy and the good guy is until the next generation. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, Martin Luther King was hated, and now every single street is named after him. So that's why I try not to. But I will say that this generation, I think the tide is turning. I think that as a generation, they're realizing the power of their vote. I think that they realize that we are a change agent and we can shift the paradigm. So when, Steve Kornacki or whoever the political analyst is, when they like glop you in those subgroups of saying, like, okay, you're suburbanites, you're da-da-da-da. These people run so much information to get your vote. Like, they run so, like, white, non-white, Catholic, Protestant, like, they have all your receipts, y'all. And I don't think you realize how important you are to these people who, like, live day by day seeing how you vote each time in order to get your vote again, and how much millions and billions of dollars goes into just media to get your vote. So I would say that the tide is turning for this generation, because I think they're realizing their power. And unfortunately, sometimes it takes bad things to do that. Mm-hmm. Well, now, one thing that I will say about this generation, I think that we do not give our ancestors, those people who fought, died, cried, bled, all that stuff, I don't think that we give them enough flowers. I don't think that we give them enough clout. I think that we think that it was so many years ago, when in real life it was 660.
It was yesterday.
You know what I'm saying? Like, these people are still walking the earth, y'all. Like, and unfortunately, we're losing some of them. We're losing these greats. Like John Lewis, like CT, like all these people who really were change agents, and put it down there, like, put their life on the line, like, hey, yeah, I know that I'm finna go walking into hell, like, I know this. So, for us to complain about, I had to wait in line 15 minutes, I had to wait in line for an hour, I had to
go on my lunch break,
right? Yeah, I had to wake up early to go to vote.
The
like,
polling place was packed.
Baby, that's a good thing.
Right.
Like,
bringing people with you.
Baby, that's a good, and like, I think that is one thing that this generation, our generation, just takes for granted, is the fact that so many people were lynched, were evicted, were, scared, were fired, were, what I'm saying, literally had to pack up in the middle of the night and go, type of thing. I think that's something that our generation just overlooks, as if it wasn't, like, it wasn't a thing, as if it didn't happen. But, like, no, ask your great uncle, ask your great aunt, like, you know what I'm saying, like, and these are people that you probably talk to on a daily basis anyway, and ask them how it was, and especially in the South, like, We can't act like what our people have been through isn't important, because, like, now it seems like all of a sudden we woke. No, baby, these people been woke, but they just had to go through so much. Mm-hmm. they had to go through so much. And I will say, this is my disclaimer. Every single answer is going to be like long. Every single answer. So I hope y'all like the sound of my voice.
It's your episode, girl.
Because I'm going to be talking. Because this is important. And it should be, and it's important to all of us, but it also, like when I say all of us, it should be important to all of us. And so I really hope that by the end of me yammering, y'all understand that. Because I'm going to say it again. So, Jazz the baddie.
Baddie.
Bow.
In the building.
Oh my God.
What about this generation, sis?
You can say it.
Tell the truth.
You can say it now.
Tell the truth. Everybody's truth is not the same.
Yeah,
Tell the
no.
truth. Tell your truth.
I'm not gonna say my answer is not to bash this generation, but I feel like voting is something that is valued with our generations and the generations with our generation and the generation after us, because we have millennials, we got Gen Z, Gen X, all that kind of stuff. So I think we differ in the way we were raised, we differ in values and things like that. So from what I see, and I kind of pay attention to not even the news, but social media as well, I'm not going to bash the generations, because every generation, like you said, has wars and things that they've had to go through. But I'm going to say no.
Okay.
And I say that because I think things that are valued with our generation and the generations to come are drastically different. And our values are starting to shift a little bit. I wish it wasn't like this. I hate that it's like this. I hope that I don't think it's everybody, but I do think that voting is something that is not deemed as important as it should be. And I think that is just for sometimes all races. I don't think it's a black thing. I don't necessarily think it's a white thing. I think it just is across the board. It's something that I hear on a day-to-day basis from both sides. It's something that you see on social media from both sides. And in looking at that, it is honestly crazy to me, because like you mentioned, people, we're so woke these days, and, we have a lot to say. I literally can get on social media when it is time to vote, and it, like right now we're getting to that point where it is, and people have so much to say about mud, and it's just kind of like, that's not the point. What are you going to do about it? There's a lot going on in this country, and all people want to do is talk. What are you going to do besides talk? We're a talking generation. We are a Twitter finger generation. And we all want to be so woke, and we all want to protest. But are we protesting, and are we getting people registered to vote? Are we talking, and are we backing it up and going to the polls? And a lot of people will tell you, like, I'm not doing that because I hate both.
Blah, 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 blah.
That does not matter. I'm not getting registered to vote because it doesn't matter. Like, my one vote ain't gonna change anything. And it is just so many people with that mentality these days that it makes no sense. So do I think that voting is something that is valued? No, I do not. Do I wish that it's something that would change? Of course I do. I hope it does. I hope that the state of the country is something that opens people's eyes and they realize, hey, I need to do my part and do better. That is my hope. I hope that people will see that they need to do better so that the country can continue to move forward. But do I think that it's something that's valued like it needs to be? Oh, no.
That's fair.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
And I don't think we are doing what we need to do, and we have taken on the responsibility to teach younger generations, like some of our parents taught us, hey, this is important. You don't have a choice.
Right.
You have to go to that poll. You have to do it because your ancestors fought. Your ancestors didn't just have the privilege like you do to go and register freely. You know what I mean? And I don't think that mentality of they didn't have that privilege. They didn't have that right. They weren't free to go to the polls and vote. So you need to do this. I don't think that is being pushed to the younger generations. Like, I just don't. So I hope that is something that is changing. Like I said, I tell people all the time, I don't care who you vote for. I really don't sometimes. But what I do care is that your butt is at that poll, that you are using whatever voice in your head and making a change. So, hey, I'm jumping off my little bitty soapbox.
No, that's fair.
So, Dr. Jazz, how do you feel about it? I don't know if you're going to jump in the middle or, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking basically, similar to both what y'all are saying. I don't necessarily feel that I even knew the value of my vote, honestly. Like, that is changing, and I do feel like it was a wake-up call, when we're just seeing the country and the state, like you said, it currently is in. But I'm interested in seeing how this, I think Kara mentioned that the tides are turning. Mm-hmm. So I'm hopeful. I'm optimistic. I really just... I feel like it's possible for us to value it again, but it's currently not valued as it should. And I really think that more people need to understand the things that went through and like that happened for us to be here where we are now. I feel like the current generation and like the generation after us, they're a lot about self and like how individually they don't feel like their vote makes a difference because of the Electoral College. Well, in order for that to go away, you got to vote. You have to vote, and for someone has to propose that, it has to, it has to be another process. But saying your vote doesn't matter, my vote matters. Yeah, my vote matters. Okay, so everyone's votes matters, and I think it just should definitely be thought about a lot more.
For sure.
And I will say I love the Obamas. I do. But the one bad thing that the Obamas did, they made political figures like exciting. Mm-hmm. So like now I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, I want somebody who plays basketball. I want somebody who can, do push-ups with Ellen. And it's like they made it so young and so fresh, and it's just like, oh my God, I want somebody just like them. But the point, like you said, the point of being president or the point of voting someone in or supporting someone is their platform. Right. So like, it doesn't matter if he got a pair of J's or not. Like, it should matter that they have the credentials, they have the understanding, they have the know-how to run the country and to run all aspects of the country. Yeah. And so like, even though I love the Obamas, like every first lady's not gonna be Michelle, y'all. That's why she's Michelle. Like and that's like every president's not gonna be Barack, and everybody's not gonna be cool and da 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 da. And you can say that you don't like, they made it so we wanted to like them. We liked them, but you don't have to like your political figures. No. You have to make sure that they do their job. Right. Yes. And when they don't do their job, you vote them out. Right. You see what I'm saying? So like, it's not about liking somebody. Like, this person's not going to be invited to your birthday party. Period. You need to make sure that you are getting someone who's going to make sure that our foreign interests are okay, that our at-home interests are okay. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the generations to come are okay, that the Constitution is not something that we're laughing at. Right. Like, that's the part about the Obamas that I'm like, guys, you were so cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, you were so cool, and now we look for cool people and we don't find them. Yeah. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't vote. For sure. Like, you should still vote, y'all. These people still have the credentials to do what they need to do, and they, most people who want to be elected as president know the gravitas that is associated with it. So maybe I just feel like we need to know the gravitas that is associated with it. For sure. Yeah. So because this is like my episode, my lovely ladies to my right and to my left have basically allowed me to get my own little soapbox to be like, here, Kara, speak your mind.
We're gonna put you on a time limit, dog. Don't roll your eyes.
I'm gonna say that eye roll.
Insert. I know exactly. Insert eye roll. No, but for real, because this is very important, I think that I just have to speak a little bit to why it matters, so much. And one of the reasons, because every 4 years we have this big gravitas, big voting machine that comes out, and it's kind of like register. But this is something that we need to be doing on a daily basis. This is a conversation that we need to be having on a daily basis, because all these middle
elections is really what matters to people like me and you. Like you said, the mayoral elections, the municipality elections, those are the ones that really matter. And so your vote is extended more than just putting someone in the White House. Your vote really matters when it comes to, you know, schools, when it comes to taxes, when it comes to those battleground states that every single 4 years we got Ohio and Florida and, you know what I'm saying? And now it's coming into like Georgia and Texas, we'll see. But it's more than just like those 4 years. Like your vote matters every single time, and every single time is a choice to be heard. And so like the part of audacity and voting with audacity means that I will be heard, that I will unapologetically vote who I believe for. Like I said, it doesn't matter who to the left or the right, who I believe for, and I'm going to unapologetically go to these polls. I'm going to know my right. I'm going to exercise my right, because now so many people are like, they're infringing on my rights. I'm going to know my right. I'm going to exercise my right, and I'm going to be heard. And if I said, if someone's getting voted in and you feel like they're not hearing you, that's when you start calling people like whoever is your senator or your state senator or whatever, they still work for you. You can still call them up and be like, hey buddy, I don't like that. Like, so we can't just act like it's a one-time thing. We can't act like our voice can't be heard every single time. When your senator, when your congresswoman votes for something that you don't agree with, call sis up. Call her office up.
Write a letter.
Like you have that voice because she's working for you. All these taxes that we pay for all of that stuff. So, like I said, the importance of that vote extends more than just 4 years. It extends to the jury selection. It extends to knowing who is on our local boards, who, like the water and all that, like the sheriff. It extends to the DAs and who gets picked for what. All these things matter, and every single thing that you do is done by a vote. Like every single thing that we've done today, somebody voted yes or no on. Those city streets that you got, you know, all these things. And it's like when you break it down to that, when you break it down to like I said, people pay billions of dollars to know about Kara Woods, to find out who she's gonna vote for, so they can put stuff in my mail, so they can put stuff in my radio, so they can put stuff on my, you know what I'm saying, on Facebook or whatever. When you realize how much they care for you and you're just like, well, I'm not into politics. Baby, politics is into you.
That's true.
But politics is way up there. Like, you know what I'm saying? It is into you. And so, like, do not count yourself out. Like, I'm not counting myself out for anything else. So why should I count myself out for this? Why should I allow somebody to lessen my voice? I'm not allowing anybody to do that anywhere else. So therefore, I'm voting with audacity. Boom. Like that, and that's how I think about it. Like if someone's trying to suppress my voice, because that's what voter suppressing is. Like they are trying to suppress a certain community's, a certain background, a certain area code. They're trying to suppress that voice. And when you say, nope, not me, I'm even though this is going to take time, I'm going to fill it out. I'm going to show up. I'm going to register, and I'm going to vote, and I'm going to watch them elections. And if I'm not happy, I'm going to do the whole thing over again. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that is the audacious part of voting. When you go somewhere and you know they don't want you to vote, what's up, bud? Let me get that sticker. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's power in that. It is. Like, I am not gonna let somebody's blood that was shed be in vain. Like, I'm not gonna do that. Like, that who do I think I am to do that? Like, no. So now I'm off. I promise. Like, that's me getting off. But I really hope that it touches at least somebody, and then that person could touch somebody else, because guess what? I'm registering folks. November is coming. Boom. November is coming, and I'm registering folks. Oh. And, you know, we could do this old school with some paper. We could do this new school on the internet. Like, what's up?
We pulling up.
That's basically, and like, you know, back in the day, they used to actually like, you know, get vans and carpools for people to go vote. And I really wish that we had more Like we take for granted. We take for granted all these things. Of course, that was when not everybody had a car, but still,
They
we
don't
take
have
for
public
granted.
transportation in Tuskegee.
Right.
So.
I don't even. And how? Where y'all? Anyway.
Where you
Yeah,
They didn't
basically.
change it, child.
But if you go to your Secretary of State's office for any state, you can find your polling place, and that's where you vote. And that's the Secretary of State office for any state. And so that's how you find that out. You put your address in, boom, that's where you're gonna be at. It's hard, but it's not that hard because it wasn't hard enough that you was gonna get evicted. So it's hard, but it's not that hard.
It's not unattainable.
Right. We can't act like it's that hard.
We're not losing jobs and lives over this.
Right.
All right.
We're just losing a couple minutes.
Right.
All right.
And be like you, and then like when something happens, like you say, when you vote for somebody and they get in and they actually make a change and they make a change in your community, you can really say, I did that.
You're a part of that.
You're a part of that. That's a collective change.
Boom. All right, Doc. Well, I think we're at a good point. We're going to take a quick break and hear some music by legendary The Poet, and we'll be back.
And this one called Paid Dues. 'Cause,
Paid
You know,
dues.
our ancestors paid all these dues.
All right, here we go.
Yeah. Back in this business.
It's legend. Late night.
Legend.
I had to elevate with all the pain. Late nights, paid dues in this game. Came with see money fame. Now I'm in that big body switching lanes. Every day I wear a crown, I'm a king. Had to knock some niggas off, hating on your team. Hate when people try to stand between your dreams. Trials and tribulations build your self-esteem. Spend a second with a legend, all my verses fly. My old girl bad, and my new one fry.
So every episode, we're going to give you some resources. We're going to give you some little tidbits, something to carry with you to the next episode.
Keep the conversation going.
Keep talking. Keep the combo going.
So, starting off, we're going to give you the websites. So you can go and check if you're registered because they're Persian people off a voter list. You can see how you can get registered and, where you're going to be polling. That's going to be on vote.org. You can look it up state by state. And then our forever First Lady, Michelle Obama, has When We All Vote. And that's, whenweallvote.com. And it's the same thing. You just register and make sure that your people are registered too.
You can also check out Rock the Vote, which has been around forever and a day. And I remember that started out, oh my God, so long ago. And it is still going on social media. Rock the Vote keeps us updated on voting deadlines, when voter registration is starting, and all of that. So check out Rock the Vote on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, every social media handle that you have. So definitely make sure you all check that out.
Yeah. Speaking of social media, there is the NAACP's Civic Engagement Toolkit, and that is for specifically social media engagement. So it has voter registration and mobilization programs, and it conveys the message, vote, our lives depend on it.
I think that's a word right there, baby.
That's a word.
All right.
You want to leave with some books, Dr. Woods?
Yeah. So episode 1, I hit you with Michelle Obama because she was living with Audacity. And I'm going to hit you with Audacity of Hope by Barack Obama.
There we go.
And so that's book number 1. And it really talks about how he came in as like a freshman senator from Illinois and how he really wanted to make a difference and the audacity of thinking that he could be president. And then also I want to leave you with a book by Carol Anderson, and it's called One Person, No Vote, and it is talking about how voter suppression is defying democracy. And so it really dwells into that voter suppression, what Stacey Abrams is doing, and how, like I said, they are trying to belittle us, and they're doing it in front of our face. So stay woke, as they say.
Stay woke.
Stay woke.
I have a book. It's actually by Lawrence Hanks. He published this book actually right before I was born, in 1990, and it's called "The Struggle for Black Political Empowerment in 3 Georgia Counties." And Mr. Hanks, or Dr. Hanks, he definitely worked at the illustrious Tuskegee University as the chairman of the Department of Political Science, and then he moved on to be the dean of African American Affairs and an associate professor in political science at Indiana University. So his book was super informative.
I agree.
Yeah, and I think actually Dr. Woods used it in her dissertation.
I did.
Yeah.
It has a lot of insight about land ownership and the connection between land ownership and voting.
Absolutely. He had 3 specific measurable phases about the empowerment process in Black politics. And the first one was Blacks holding office in proportion to their numbers in the population. Not just to have one Black person elected, but to actually have that equal proportion to the population. And the second part was the enactment of public policies that were favorable to the Black community. So just like y'all said, once you vote for someone that you appreciate and then they enact a change in your community, that's a part of that process of empowerment. And then last but not least, the rise of the socioeconomic status in the Black community. And that definitely can happen with the power of the vote.
All right, then. Well, I think those were definitely some good, conversation tidbits. And, if y'all actually, read and keep the conversation going, tell us about it. Comment on it. Let us know. That's the point. We've been reading up on this stuff. We talk about it. Let us know how y'all feel about it. And the questions that we ask, especially, those are the main things to keep the convo going. So I hope y'all are, really taking it to heart and asking other people. Tell somebody, I heard this, what you think about that? So everything is just to keep the conversation going and,
to create a new conversation.
There we go.
We need another narrative going.
Exactly.
Always, unapologetically and audaciously, baby.
Ooh, wow. So it is September 22nd, and it's Today in Black History.
Today in Black History.
All right. So on.
Don't talk about me like you talked about Amanda Seals last episode.
Dang.
Cara Diva.
I thought we could forget.
We ain't forget.
Hey, Amanda, I love you.
We still your friends.
I know. Dang.
I love you, Amanda. Cara doesn't, but I do.
What? I literally just said, baby. You see, we were literally talking about empowering each other, and she just threw me under this tree. Boom, boom, boom. That was me, y'all, as she drove over. Dang, that's crazy.
I love you.
Nah, bro.
Let's bring it to the people now.
Yeah, Today in Black History. Cara was mugged.
Oh my God. What? Okay, Cara, get serious. Like me, get serious.
You see, this is why we couldn't be together all the time in school. This is why.
Separate y'all.
You had to push me out the sandbox.
Separate. She do not. Anyway.
Dr. Jassez. Who's over here being the
this
bully
girl,
now?
She really been the same size since the sandbox.
Hey. I am all of 6 feet. Don't you talk about me, baby. Crickets.
It's that conceited face was like, I don't know about that.
Today in Black History.
Yes. Okay. So on September 22nd, 1961, the Interstate Commerce Commission issued regulations prohibiting segregation on interstate buses and in terminal facilities, which means that those who were doing the good work of the freedom riders, who were bombed, who were injured, forever John Lewis is in my heart. My heart is still heavy. Okay, for those people who did that, and just this is why, because when you want change to happen, you have to make a change. And so that's what happened today in Black History. The regulations prohibited segregation on interstate buses.
All right.
I love it. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
And this was all done by voting.
Boom, boom, boom.
Okay. It's the shameless plug session. Bow, 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 bow.
Well, Of course, make sure you all.
She sound like Big Bird.
Oh my God.
Do
Just
not
email us,
disrespect
y'all.
the
I can't-
Magnolia Soldier
Underscore.
_.
Yeah. So Dr. Jazz is Magnolia Soldier on Instagram. Magnolia Soldier _
You gotta say it with the New Orleans accent.
Yeah, please.
No, say it, Kara.
I don't. Oh, Magnolia Soldier. I don't. Is that right?
I love it. It's close
Hey,
enough.
baby,
Ow.
did I get it right? I'm gonna do it.
It's coming. It's coming.
I'm gonna get it.
We're gonna get it done by the end of this season. Y'all
Kara,
gonna,
don't be a hater. But follow me at You Love Jazz.
Go ahead and spell that out for the people because you special.
real special.
Don't be a hater. You Love with a 3.
Instead of an E.
Yeah, with the 3. You Love Jazz. Follow me. Always follow with Audacity.
Baby, you love _jazz.
Yeah, You Love _Jazz.
Yeah, that's part of it. You.
Man, y'all gonna see my face. Just follow me. Follow with Audacity and y'all gonna find me, baby.
Eat this baby. It's so hard. What about you, Dr.
Okay.
Woods? How we can find you?
Flips Fro.
Okay. Flip
On
that fro.
Instagram. Yeah, and then like you said, follow with Audacity on everything. We got the YouTube, we got the Spotify,
Instagram.
Instagram.
And I kind of want to see how y'all liking it. Like, email us some feedback, y'all, with audacity@gmail.com. We want to hear what you want to hear. You know, tell us about what you want us to talk about. We got a lot of episodes lined up, a lot of subjects, but, you know, we could squeeze.
Everything with Audacity.
Everything's with Audacity. So y'all could be as
Everything.
audacious to let us know what y'all want us to talk about.
Right.
So,
Merch coming out.
oh yeah.
Plug.
Merch coming out October the 8th. Be on the lookout for that because you might get a discount code or something like that. You know, that's why you got to follow us.
You know.
So yeah.
And then we have our artwork done by the lovely T1
Yes. Thank you, Mom.
at artrycolor.artistry. ATRI color.artistry. Follow my girl. You can get her prints. You can, purchase. This is Black owner operated.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So support, and she is an almost TU graduate.
There we go.
So
There we
support.
All right.
This week's episode featured artist was James, aka Legendary the Poet, and he's gonna have our Spotify playlist for the episode.
All right, y'all.
Voting with
looking out.
Audacity, and I hope that y'all learn something.
I hope so.
Be on the lookout for the next episode. And next episode, we are talking about working with Audacity.
Work.
You better work.
Work.
So we're gonna be talking about all things in the workplace. Oh, we got this episode.
Everything relatable. So yeah, that's it.
Y'all
Love,
be
peace,
bold.
and soul.
Y'all be daring. We out.
Bye, baby.
Close your eyes and dream. She recognize a king. I know that she a queen. I love you on my team. Feel like Prince Hakeem. Making freedom ring. Rising with a queen. Every day we live our dreams.
Everyone's listening and watching you now.
Oh my God. Is this thing on?
Is this thing on?